Falls Bay is what people call it, and their town is called Simonstown. Giant granite rocks rise up from the sheltered cove seafoam blue-green water, lending the beach its moniker, Boulders Beach. But someone else lives here, and it all started here in 1985 when two couples visited and decided to stay. Two couples of African penguins, that is. Just like people, in search of a better life, better opportunities to live and raise their families. And here we are today, almost 40 years later, and the place is inhabited by about 1,000 penguin families. Pretty good increase by any measure. Only 2% of the African penguin population that existed in the early 1900s remains today, most of them in South Africa. Simonstown is the only stable colony. It is also one of only two land-based colonies, the other one being Stony Point on the other side of this bay, Falls Bay. This means the penguins here can be easily observed, unlike colonies at the sea, and people from all over the world come here for a visit. Several hundred penguins can be found in the neighborhood year-round. But wait, there are also many part-time residents. Around November, things get busier and more penguins from around Falls Bay, which Simonstown overlooks, in addition to other areas along the southern coast of South Africa and as far as Namibia, begin landing on the beach to molt. Single penguins will snag mates, and couples, both new and established, will start breeding. By April, the colony swells to approximately 1,000 breeding pairs, with nests carpeting the beach and spreading into residential gardens around town. Penguins are nesting in the sand, among the rocks, under the boardwalk, and all the way up the hillside to the luxury homes overlooking the ocean. Some of the birds, measuring about 2 feet tall and up to 11 pounds, are so close I could touch them, with a few poking their heads out from beneath the boardwalk to snap at ankles in case we humans get too close to their nests. Otherwise, they go about their business as if dozens of giants weren't ogling them and invading their turf. The African penguins are critically endangered, and they have been stars of many movies. Recently, they were a subject of the quirky Netflix docuseries Penguin Town, filmed here in Simonstown. With a typical lifespan of 20 to 30 years, African penguins begin breeding between the ages of 4 and 6. The birds lay one or two eggs at a time and can raise up to two broods per year. Eggs incubate for about 40 days before they hatch. When the chicks are several weeks old, both parents will go to sea and the chicks will stay on land in a penguin daycare, sometimes with an adult standing guard. At 3 or 4 months, the chicks fledge, their feathers now waterproof so they can swim without drowning. The parents leave them on their own on the beach and the fledglings head out to the sea with others their age. They can travel long distances, often heading west and north, sometimes into Namibia, and can stay out at sea for up to a year. Only 35 to 40% of young ones survive the first year at sea. These survivors return to the land to molt into their adult plumage. In the early 1980s, a ban on the industrial fishing of sardines and anchovies took effect in False Bay here, and the availability of fish there remains better than elsewhere. In other areas of African penguins range, the stocks of small kinds of fish can get dangerously low, and penguins end up competing with fisheries. You can imagine who the winner is. The town itself also provides some extra protection to the birds from terrestrial predators like caracals, which is a cat, wild cat. Historically, African penguins wouldn't have been breeding on the mainland, as they would have been attacked by wild animals. But the existence of the town, with people and traffic, does, in a way, protect these birds. So it is good for both penguins and for people who make money from the increased number of tourists who come here. The biggest threats facing the penguins, apart from predation by seals, caracals, leopards, mongoose, and cats and dogs, come from human activity. Oil spills, marine pollution, habitat destruction, climate change, and industrial fishing have all played a role, with industrial fishing being the number one contributor to the decline of the African penguin. If the penguins can get enough sardines and anchovies to eat, they will not survive, making an already difficult situation worse for the penguins. The Simonstown colony suffered a tragic blow recently when 63 penguins suddenly died overnight as a result of being stung by honeybees. The penguins had evidently been wounded around the eyes and flippers or wings, areas which are not protected by feathers. That was a complete freak accident. So, is there a parallel with the pandemic? Of course, there are other sad moments like seeing penguins getting caught in plastic bags or watching them get accosted by overeager tourists. Very heartbreaking moment came when a penguin got run over in the parking lot not so long ago. So I think this will be the end for today. Thank you for watching. I hope you found the topic interesting. And I'm leaving you with the view of Boulders Beach with one solitary penguin walking away from the maddening crowd.